Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies. I hope we're doing well. I've got some pickups and I've got some lovely birthday gifts. Yeah, I've really been spoilt for my birthday. Absolutely can't believe it. Another year older, but that's softened by the blow of some of these lovely gifts I've got. Let's start with a couple of pickups first. First one, well, both a couple of throwaway pickups. The first one, literally, I think, on Ollie's live stream a couple of weeks ago, they were on about this and I'd hate it. And yeah, of course, I bought myself a copy, didn't I? A Rock of Ages. Tom Cruise is in it. It looks cheesy. It looks crap. Even the lads on the live stream said it's crap. So I'm sure I'm going to hate it, but we might have a bit of a giggle. Yeah, Rock of Ages. Don't know much about it other than it's crap. Now, the second pickup I made myself this week, and I've had a senior moment. I've done it again. I seem to be having a senior moment once a week at least. I've been hankering to watch The Eagle Has Landed recently because I haven't seen it for ages and I haven't got a physical copy. So I thought I'll order myself a copy, and next day it comes, drops on the door mat, and I open it up, and yeah, I'd ordered Where Eagles Dare. I know, what a fool. And to make it worse, I've already got Where Eagles Dare. So if anybody wants a copy of Where Eagles Dare, just drop it down below and I'll send it on. Whoever shouts it out first. Dropping it on the floor now. Honestly, I'm getting worse. It's not even the first senior moment I've had this week. I had a medical appointment on the 1st of the month, so I rocked up Monday thinking it was the 1st of the month, but it was the 31st of March, so I had to go back the next day. Honestly, Blu-Roy Movies is getting worse. Right, now on to me birthday gifts. Now, I didn't really broadcast it's my birthday. You're getting older and you don't want to be reminded. And Facebook pretty much grasses you up, doesn't it? It records on your birthday. Larry and James, they were saying, "Oh, you kept your birthday quiet." I said, "Well, I didn't want much fuss." But the next day, again, Amazon come two separate occasions, and one from James and one from Larry. Thanks, lads. You know, really appreciate it. You really didn't have to get me a birthday present. But the first one from James, and this one looks like it's going to be right up my street in the Vintage Classics collection, which I've been collecting recently. So James knows what I like. Villain, a film I've not seen before. Richard Burton, I like Richard Burton, and Ian McShane, old Lovejoy himself. A film by Michael Tuckner. And yeah, it sounds really interesting. 1971 British gangster drama Villain is directed by Michael Tuckner. His feature film debut starring Richard Burton as a sadistic London gang leader inspired by Ronnie Cray. The film is based on Jane Barlow's 1968 book Burden of Pearl. East End gang chief Vic Dakin is a violent psychopath who lives with his mother. Does very much sound like the Crays. Whilst making a living by running a prosperous protection market. After a tip-off for a potentially portrayal heist opportunity, Dakin starts planning the job, bringing in a gang from the criminal underworld alongside associate Wolf Listener, played by Ian McShane. Tough copper detective Inspector Robert Matthews, played by Nigel Davenport, has been tasked with arresting Dakin when he makes his first mistake and is watching his every move. They're determined to catch him in the act. When a gang member is hospitalised and Matthews is closing in, can Dakin silence him before he confesses all? Really hard to read that, even with my glasses on. Yeah, it sounds really good. Now, Larry says it's a sort of like a cross between The Craze and Get Carter, which, again, sounds right up my street, one that I'm going to really enjoy. I know, it's like Sammy, one of his favourites is Get Carter, so that might be one that he might be interested in. That's Villain. Yep. Thanks very much, James. Really, really appreciate that, mate. Absolutely blinking brilliant. And the next one from Larry, and God, absolutely blown away when I open this. The BFI 4K double pack, Yojimbo and Sanjuro. I mean, blimey, Larry, like, that's a lot of expense to go to, but I really, really appreciate it. Yojimbo, I have seen before and really enjoyed it. Is one that I'd really liked, but I've never seen Sanjuro, so I'm quite looking forward to getting into that one. I know Sammy watched Yojimbo and it was disappointed him, so I don't know what went on there, Sammy, because it's a bloody great film. As everybody knows, it's the inspiration for A Fistful of Dollars. I'm sure you all know that, and I won't bore you any further with that fact. Love me Akira Kurosawa, so to be having them in 4K now and putting them on when the right moment strikes is something I'm going to savour. So yeah, Larry, James, absolutely brilliant, lads. Means the world to me. Thanks very much, guys. Next up, I had some vouchers, from Amazon vouchers for my birthday, from my brother-in-law and mother-in-law, and also from work. Actually, we're on a perk box scheme, they call it, where every now and again they chuck some points in and you can buy something, and they chucked a tenner's worth in for my birthday, so I had £55 worth of Amazon vouchers. So what am I going to spend my Amazon vouchers on? Of course, it's going to be films. Now, the first one, let me just grab this here, if I can find it. Talk amongst yourselves. Should have been more prepared. I was looking on the wrong shelf. Here we go. We're back on track. Now, I was watching Stuart's latest video is Burt Lancaster pickups, and he'd picked up The Killers with Burt and Ava Gardner. I think it's a 50s film and a very, very good film. Stuart is in for a treat with that one. I know he's going to enjoy that. And I was saying to him that there's a 60s remake with Lee Marvin that I didn't have and I was interested in, and that I was going to wait for an Arrow sale and pick it up, and lo and behold, that same day an Arrow sale dropped. They must have been listening to me, so I've picked that up. Yeah, The Killers remake with Lee Marvin. I mean, the first one, the original with Burt, is a great film, and I've heard this one is just as good, so that is one I should be getting into shortly. And both Arrow Academy releases, the two Killers films. And also from Arrow Academy, Hiroshima, another film that's been on my radar for a long time. I think this is 1952, Japanese made, and a Japanese rendition, dramatisation of the events of the Hiroshima atomic attack by the Americans and the fallout for it, what happened afterwards. So we only really hear from an Allied point of view the events of that day. So I'll be really interested to watch this and, you know, just watch it from a Japanese perspective, see what their take on it all was, because there's never any... how am I going to put it? History always records that the good guys win wars. It never records the bad guys ever win a war. So it will be interesting to see it through their eyes. Hiroshima. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that one. And next up, I picked up with my voucher Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Robert De Niro, Kenneth Branagh, a film I've never seen. And Frankenstein's a bit of a black hole in my movie watching history. I've watched the original Boris Karloff Frankenstein and The Bride of Frankenstein, but I never watched any of the like 70s horror type. Never watched I, Frankenstein that was out a few years ago. Never watched Lisa Frankenstein from a year or so ago. I don't even know if that's related to this sort of franchise at all. But so, yeah, it is something I need to explore more. And having a voucher and 4Ks were on sale, a good price, I thought I'd pick that up because you can't go wrong with Robert De Niro, and I've heard people like this film, so I'll give it a whirl, see what I think. And the last one I picked up was the big release of the week, The Substance in 4K. I loved this film when I watched it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a cracking film and possibly the best film that I watched last year. Not that I've watched many. It takes me years to catch up. I'm still catching up with the 40s and 50s stuff. So, yeah, I watched it by myself, and I know that the wife is going to enjoy this when I stick it on. So we'll watch that together. So that's it. That's me couple of pickups. My birthday gifts. Again, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Means the world to me. I had a really good birthday. Quiet. Didn't do a lot, but the way I like it. But it was good. Yeah, so give me a thumbs up if you've liked what I've done here today. Maybe think about subscribing if you want to hear more. I'll catch you guys all later. You all take care, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.